Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah. NFL. You a fan?
Of the NFL?
Besides the tight booties.
Oh.
No, she said ass.
Ass. I kind of sound like the song.
Donkeys. Am I a fan? I don't watch football. Not really a fan.
NFL. You're not a fan. That sucks. Well, anyway, not talking to you right now.
Okay, that's fine.
So, the NFL. Some things have happened. I'm kind of excited about this year. Personally, I think who's winning, Trevor? Who's your pick right now? Don't say the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on record and say Dallas Cowboys.
Is that a true statement?
Agree.
She's just
every year.
Go Spurs, go.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Not
wow.
even a Spurs.
We're gonna cut her mic off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cowboys.
So can we get your second pick?
Second pick, New England. Third pick, Philly.
Okay, I am going Philly. They picked up a lot of. They retained a lot of people. Not picked
Too
up.
many.
They retained a lot
Too
of their
much.
stars. The fucking Rams, man.
That's too much too. They have too much power.
The Rams have a Pro Bowl team just by themselves.
Yeah, that's too much.
The Rams, and then that's my team, the Rams, and the Rams and the Eagles. I like the Jaguars. I always go for the Jaguars every year. That's my sleeper team, and I'm kind of excited to see what the Browns are going to do. But so we had the first game was it Thursday, the Hall of Fame game, and so there's some shit that happened in that game. So there's new rules. Guys, I don't know if you understand. Every year, the league and committee gets together, and they talk about rules. So there's a bunch of new rules, okay? So you can't hit people really hard. That's a rule. Like, seriously. You can't hit people hard or too hard or whatever, however you want to say it.
I thought it was with you can't lead with the helmet.
You can't do none of that shit. But so these are some of the plays. That happened during the game, and some of these are like very sissified puss ass hits, and nothing too bad. Like, but these are the rules.
So should it just be flag football going forward?
Actually, they have a professional flag football. Okay, well, I'm gonna change my mind. Okay, so I watched this shit, and I know Trevor watched it with me. I kind of agree with these rules. I'm gonna retract everything I said.
Okay.
I kind of agree with these rules.
Help me understand.
Because now it's the preseason, so they're gonna call everything. They're gonna be very anal. When the season comes, they're not gonna call it the exact same way. But these are professional athletes, and they'll fix it. Give them a couple of weeks, and they'll fix it. But when you lead with your head, like I used to try to lead with my helmet. Like when I would hit people when I played, like I'm crowning the shit out of them. Like we're hitting. I'm trying to hurt you. But that needed to change, a lot. Now, a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, this is a bullshit hit right here." Watch this shit. Wait, watch the replay. He hit him. So what the rule is? Watch. Let's watch this shit. Hold on. Pow, 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 pow. The guy in the bottom. Shoulder pad in his chest. Ball came out. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit that is kind of like stupid. And this one right here, same type deal. Didn't catch the ball and hit him in his chest. But what they're calling is that your helmet cannot be the first object to contact the player. You can't lead with your helmet.
Got it.
So that's kind of what it is. So I agree with that. I think to make this game safer, I agree with it. Trevor?
It definitely makes the game safer, but you're taking away.
That shit's gonna stink.
I didn't even let it out. So you're taking away from.
No.
Damn it. Football, guys. Football.
Right.
New rules.
Yeah, new rules, right?
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
You're not
She's
welcome
quick with a
back.
little side comment. So it's good. So NFL wants points, man. You think they really give a fuck about players' health?
I think they have to at this point. I don't think it's
The Players Association does.
okay.
The NFL does not. So
True.
what makes money, what fans want to see these days, is a lot of scoring,
A lot of hits.
a lot of hits.
But
They're taking away from the defense. They're taking away the ability to prevent people from scoring. So now you take away one of the main mechanics of tackling.
Okay.
One of the fundamentals of tackling. You're taking that away, which enables a receiver or a ball carrier to break a tackle and go score a touchdown, which is what fans want to see.
See, I don't think that they're taking away. I think they're actually trying to, because we've always been trained not to lead with your head. Your face mask is cool, and I think even now, you can't even lead with your face mask. But it was always about just button up, chest to chest. You don't. But like I said, we would hit with our helmets. We would, and you've played. You've probably been hitting your ribs with helmets before, and we try to hurt you.
Right.
So I think that's good because that's not how you're supposed to hit people. That's gonna get you paralyzed and just fucking out of the game forever.
But it's football.
I get it. There are risks to it, but you can also prevent. Like, it's driving, but I got brakes and seatbelts. I know it's driving, but I still want fucking good brakes and good seatbelt. Right? Makes sense.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good to make it a safer game. They're not saying you can't hit people. They're saying you can hit them with your helmet. They can't be the first thing that you're leading with. So start leading with the chest and your shoulders. And if you fly across the field and put that shoulder into somebody, you can hurt them pretty goddamn good too. So you're not losing the ability to get big hits. You're just gaining the ability to be alive.
So I hear that. But it sounds to me like they want more situations like the NFC Championship last year, Minnesota and New Orleans.
Oh, that nigga was just stupid. That did not do.
He was leading with his shoulder. He wasn't looking where he was trying to hit.
He stopped and lunged. All he had to do was hug him. No, that was a dumbass mistake. I don't blame that on tackling. He was a great player. He's made a lot of good plays. He did what he fucking came to do. It's just at that moment, the play that he did not make was the most important play of his fucking young rookie career.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're just saying, but you cannot say that.
You didn't say that when I told you that a year ago almost.
I can grow.
You were like, oh, he was trying to make a tackle. He just missed it.
No, but that's what it was. He was trying to kill him. He was trying to just wipe his ass out. But that's the thing about football. Just as you know about football, Trevor, it's situational football. You play every situation different. If that was in the middle of the game, you try to blow his ass up. If you're up and he catches the ball on that sideline, you have no reason to blow him up. Let him catch the ball, wrap him up with your hands, and hold on and keep him in bounds until the clock goes. Just like when Brian Mitchell was his name, when he had that big break against the Dallas Cowboys, and he slid and kneeled on the 1 yard line to secure the win and got the first down, and they just ran the clock out. Situational football. That was either bad coaching by the Saints for that game, or it was just a fucking bad play. But it had nothing to do with trying to save my neck.
Yeah, it did not have nothing to do with that. Another situation possible is it was the god of NFL who called downstairs and said, "Hey, let's make this play happen. We need numbers. We need excitement in the NFL because the shit's fucking boring right now." Even though that was one of the best games I've ever watched, Drew Brees' comeback, he made shit happen. Hey, tell your player to let this guy go.
This nigga.
You gotta think conspiracy, man, because as a cornerback, as a safety, was he a cornerback or a safety? Whichever he was a defender who had a ball handler's back to him. He dreams of these days and these hits of hitting somebody in the back square on, and a hit like that to secure a win in the NFC Championship, and you're going to duck your head and lead with your shoulder. Come on, man.
Like I said, I just think that was a rookie mistake. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it was a dumbass play. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not going to try to deny that, but I think it was more of just a situational deal. But I mean, that's fucking. This shit happens in football. But how about your boy Jerry Jones? Since you're such a big Cowboys fan,
what about him, man?
You gonna toe that goddamn line there, boy?
Now toe the line is more of a military. Military saying.
Say, boy, you gonna toe that line, boy?
I wouldn't even take it like that.
You gonna toe that line there, boy?
Me, I don't give a fuck about the protest for the anthem. I don't.
So I can't believe we're still talking about
I know.
this. Like, why can't we get it over with?
You
Can
don't
I
even
make
like
an
football
executive decision on this shit?
Right?
Because nobody else seems to be able to wear the pants when it comes to this.
Right.
So listen.
Like, why the hell is this still going on? Like, oh Jesus.
I am.
on.
So
God
okay. So
damn.
we're not gonna move on, fuckers. Listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it. So listen, and we're gonna talk about it every year until a nigga don't get shot. So we're gonna talk about it forever. So listen, this is what it is, okay? So Jerry Jones had a statement, all right, and Jerry Jones simply said, no. He said our policy is you stand for the anthem, toe the fucking line.
Is that Jerry Jones right there?
Taking a knee. That's Jerry Jones.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's taking a knee.
But that was for show. That was last year sometime, and there was after I don't know what happened, but that was for show. But anyway, so that happened. All right. So with Jerry Jones, he basically, the NFL said let's stay out of it. Let's let the NFL and the NFLPA determine what they're gonna do. The agreement was to have all the owners stay out of the conversation on if they're gonna kneel, if they can kneel, if we're fine, if we won't fine. That was the conversation. Owners stay out of it. Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones said, hey, fuck that. It's not a policy. Y'all niggas gonna toe that line, boy. That's what he said.
Even though I kneeled with you.
I think it was more of a
don't mind that
team
picture.
thing.
Don't mind that picture. That picture had nothing to do with. This was like that was just for show. I just put it on there because I thought that shit was
I don't
like
think that was for show.
contradiction.
Jerry Jones about to
But he simply said y'all gonna toe the line. But the thing is, he's not supposed to have a conversation about it.
Right.
Like let the NFLPA, the Players Association, and the league figure out how they're going to handle that situation. Once that situation is handled and figured out, then you can set rules. Reason being is because the NFL stated that no more kneeling. If you don't want to come out for the anthem, stay your ass in the locker room. You don't have to come out into the field.
Okay.
We're not going to penalize you.
All right.
We're not going to fine you.
That.
We're not going to fine you. We're not going to do nothing. Stay your ass in the locker room for the national anthem. Let the players that want to stand for the flag come out. And then after that, everyone goes back in the locker room, get ready for the game, and we play. That was the choice. Jerry Jones then said, "Fuck that, we're not gonna do that. All y'all niggas better come out this locker room and toe the motherfucking line."
That's not what he's saying, man.
No.
Everybody who plays
on his team, if you don't toe that line, I am cutting. You're not gonna be a Dallas Cowboy, is what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. So no staying in the locker room. No. Seriously, I've read all. I've looked it up. I've read. That's where I got that quote. Is the actual quote from him. I didn't make that shit up. He said everyone that is on this team needs to be out there for the anthem and toe that line. And if not, which is the military, it's not more of like nigga toe the line. It's just a military statement. But if you're not out there and on the line doing the national anthem, then you're not a Dallas Cowboy. Period. That's what he said.
I think you're taking what he said out of context.
I think I'm taking what he said fucking literal.
No.
Word for word.
I think I'm tired of this conversation.
I am too. That's what makes me not even want to pay attention to the NFL this year.
Right. Yeah, me neither.
No, I like the NFL. So I like the NFL enough to watch it. I mean, I think it's interesting.
They still fine.
The thing that I don't like about it.
Donkey.
The thing that I don't like about it is that I think they're doing too much. Like, let these players be players and let them have their time and feel like they're doing what they want to do. I think some of these conversations are conversations that owners and other people shouldn't have no right in being a part of.
Well, when you say let them do what they want to do, because I've seen different conversations about this topic.
Who said it? Someone has something to say?
Yeah, this is from Erica Hernandez. She was
Erica.
like, it's not a contradiction. I think he made an attempt to say, yes, we will acknowledge it, but okay, it's over. Let's play some football. Now, that's what I'm getting at. Like, oh, you know what? I just totally cut into what you were saying. I don't want to ruin your train of thought.
She was just talking about booty cheeks.
No, I wasn't talking about booty cheeks. And it's ass.
Ass.
Booty cheeks and ass. Two different things.
Ass.
But what I was going to say is, when you say let the players do whatever it is that they want,
to a certain extent.
Yeah. And I've read shit on Facebook, people, giving their point of views and everything, and I kind of have to agree on some of the things that I've read, where it's like, okay, you're an employee. You work at a job, you have rules there, you got to abide by them, or you're fired.
They're not making fries, though. It's a completely different job. Like,
right,
same concept.
But exactly, it's this. No, hell no, they're not making fries.
I mean, these players are basically independent contractors of their own talent. Like, they're not really like just employees. They're contractors. So
they don't have any rules.
No,
don't they have rules?
Like I said, I understand. I'm not saying they shouldn't have no rules. And yes, there are employees.
Don't they have a policy, like a handbook? They have a uniform that they got to wear and all that shit.
That's true.
Keyword uniform right there. That is true. What the picture you had of Jerry Jones and his Cowboys, that's uniformity.
But listen,
that's what he's trying to get across to other owners.
No. So listen, first of all, I have no problem with him taking a knee or not taking a knee. My issue, I really don't have an issue.
I don't
but my comment is my comment basically is like, you shouldn't have a problem with the protest. Let them protest, because if they're protesting child molestation and they like you would not support it because of the flag, like you're just mad because of the issue that they're supporting, which I get it. But just let them be them. Like, I understand they play for a team, they wear the same uniform, but like let them live their person. This has nothing to do with their talent or their game. Or they're not drinking, they're not smoking, they're not doing illegal drugs, they're not riding motorcycles. They're trying to make a stand. They're trying to be relevant. This is their only way to communicate. What is a writer going to do? If a writer has something wrong with something, what is a writer going to do? They're going to write you an essay about it and publish it. Michael Moore has an issue with things. What does he do? He gets on his platform and speaks his mind. These are football players. They're doing it by their only means, which is their platform. Now, going back to Jerry Jones, why I brought it up is because Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, I got a picture of him, y'all.
I think that's such bullshit, man.
That's kind of funny. I like the picture.
I need to explain.
So Dak Prescott. Oh, I'll play the clip. So Dak Prescott is, matter of fact, listen. So, matter of fact,
he's in the sunken place, and he has on a jersey.
So, he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, all right? He is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. And there was questions that was asked to him, and his responses were fucking coonery, I guess, if I could say it. So, they asked him, how do you feel about Jerry Jones and his protest, and his protest, Dallas Cowboys protest? How do you feel about him? What do you believe in? Would you ever protest? That was the question that was asked to Dak Prescott. Dax. What I call him, Dax.
D-A-K.
No, I call him Dax. He hasn't earned the K yet because he's fucking trash. I don't even call him by his real name. That's how bad he is. Damn. But this was his response. Basically, what do you believe in, and would you ever protest?
No, I never protest. I never protest during the anthem, and I don't think that's the time or the venue to do so. The game of football has always brought me such a peace, and I think it does the same for a lot of people. A lot of people playing the game, a lot of people watching the game, a lot of people that have any impact of the game. So when you bring such a controversy to the stadium, to the field, to the game, it takes away from that. It takes away from the joy and to the love that football brings a lot of people. And so for me, I'm all about making a change, making a difference. And I think this whole kneeling and all that was all about just raising awareness, and the fact that we're still talking about social injustice years later. I think we've got to that point. I think we've proved and we know that there's social injustice. So I'm up for taking a next step, that whatever that step may be, for action and not just kneeling. I've always believed standing up for what I believe in, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
So that was his, and I believe in half of what he said, and the other half I think is bullshit. I mean, to sit here and say that a certain particular spot is a place that someone should not and can't protest is stupid. I do agree with him when he says, kind of like how I touched on a point that you said, Diddy. You're like, how long are we going to kneel for? Is it going to be, 2098 and we're still kneeling before football games? Like, when are we going to evolve the protest?
When are we going to just be like, hey, let them kneel, or let them stay wherever you sit in the locker room until
And that's my point.
I mean, and everybody protests about everything.
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 Right.
Everything is okay these days. Why is this an issue?
You know why it's an issue.
I do, but I'm just saying.
That's why it's an issue. But like I said, he said I just don't like that people saying that, you can and cannot protest here or there. Like, you can't tell someone when they should or should not have feelings about a certain issue that is heavy on their heart. And then, so I agree with him when he says that. I mean, I don't agree with him when he says that, but when he's talking about like, hey, enough is enough. Like, I get it. Enough is enough. We kind of need to, I'm not saying we don't need to stop kneeling or we need to kneel, but the kneel or not kneel conversation is a moot point. Like,
somebody needs to make an executive decision on what it is what they're gonna do. Why are we dragging this shit out?
Well, what they should do, in all honesty, if they want to,
it's dumb.
First of all, I don't give a fuck what you think the NFL is or isn't. NFL is or is not going to change political mindsets, laws, and they're not going to make laws because of kneeling or not kneeling for the NFL. And one thing they're for sure not going to do, they're not going to change the mindsets of the races that you're trying and the bigotry that you're trying to change. The NFL alone is a corporation, and the players are not going to fix that. Bottom line. Awareness, they brought awareness to a situation, which is fucking crazy how people always say Colin Kaepernick brought awareness to shit, because we knew this shit was going on. This shit isn't like something that just happened 2 years ago. I mean, NWA brought this shit on with Fuck the Police. Tupac has been talking about this. Public Enemy. This shit is not new. So to sit here and pretend like this is something that's new, the civil rights fucking movement was in 64. What, 50-something odd years ago? That shit's not, shit's old. Like, this whole shit that we're going through is not nothing that's new.
Right.
So awareness, okay, awareness to the point where it's being talked about in public. I get it. Great job. And that was good that that's been done. But now that that's been done, what are we going to do to fix it? There's nothing you can do to change people's mindsets. The NFL kneeling or not kneeling is not going to change anybody's fucking mindsets. It's not. Awareness has been brought. This shit's been aware for fucking 460 fucking thousand years, or however long you want to put on it. So that's the shit that kind of pisses me off. And then to kind of touch base, so the next question that was asked for him, he was like, this is kind of funny what he did. The question was, so can you respect players that think that, you know, kneeling at the games is right? You know, can you respect their decision to kneel, basically?
I mean, yeah, I respect what all those guys believe in. I mean, if they believe in it's going to make a change and it's making a difference, then power to them. But for me, I think it's about doing something, action. It's not about taking a knee. It's not necessarily about standing. We can find a different place to make our country better. And obviously, as I said, I'm not naive, and I'm very aware of the social injustice that we have going on, but I'm about the actions that we can do to fix it rather than the silent protest.
Okay, does anyone know why they're kneeling? I think people took it and ran with it in 50 million thousand directions.
To answer your question, a lot of people don't. And it's funny thing about it is he literally said the social injustice to people of color. That is the reason why the initial kneel. And that was said word by word, verbatim. People know it. People hear that. But yet people are still making it about shit that it's not. People heard what it's about. People know what it's about. Now, to see if they're actually going to like understand what it's about and make it about that is another conversation, which you know the answer to that as well. But I don't know. I don't think people are really. Well, first of all, to that comment that he made is like, you know, I'm dating this chick. And her mom is like, do you love my daughter? You like, well, I mean, you know, shit, we're cool. I mean, you know, I don't dislike her. that was basically the answer that he did. He doesn't give a fuck about this shit.
Yeah.
And what's so sad is that him being a black man from Alabama, went to college and played football in Mississippi. I don't understand why he doesn't have a whole heart feeling about this.
How long has he been playing professionally?
Third year. This will be his third year in the NFL.
Oh, so he's fresh.
But he's been a nigga his whole life.
Some people forget.
From Mississippi. I mean, he's half. He's half, right? He's mixed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's white and black.
Okay, so I don't know his upbringing. I don't know what hood he grew up or what suburb he grew up in.
But he may not look at himself that way.
Which is true.
He may not look at himself that way. He may not have been treated that way, and he may just want to make that money. So he's going along with the flow. He's riding it out, and I'm going to say that I am not naive. You know, I mean,
he's naive as shit.
That's what he said. He was like, I'm not naive.
Which means
but when I was listening, and you know, I don't watch football or whatever, but just listening to him, I was like, he must be fresh. He's green.
He's wet behind the ears, right?
He's saying all of this because he's trying to save something. What is he trying to save? Well, it's not his salvation, so it's his career.
Nigga still got Similac on his breath. No,
I mean,
he may feel a little bit different in the next 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Dak Prescott. I mean, you know, I don't like his demeanor. Like, I'm not saying that he needs to be Mr. Colin Kaepernick and start, you know, putting his hair in cornrows and Black Panther. I mean, and dashikis with the Malcolm X hat. I'm not saying he needs to go that far, but
it's not that.
My personal take, I would have wished he would have said nothing and been like, I don't have no comment on this. I understand that he's listening to his owner. He's not. Well,
then you take away from everything you just said about him having an opinion and how the players are expressing their opinion through protest. You want him to be quiet and he can't express his opinion on how he feels about it?
I want him to be educated. I don't want him to be quiet. If he's going to talk about something, let's talk about it.
It sounds
How
like
is he not educated? He's in it right there. He's in the NFL. He's in the locker room with the guys that are protesting.
It sounds like his mama pulled him aside and said, "Look here, baby.
His mama's
When you
passed.
go over your daddy house, this is what you gonna say. You ain't gonna say nothing about Mr. Harry coming over here. Now you tell him, your daddy, that's what he.
That's that uncle, right?
That's
Uncle Rob.
Yeah, that's what in his interview. That's what I felt. I mean, I felt his vibe.
So then, in that vibe that you felt, she over there harmonizing and shit.
Vibe.
So then, and this is the kicker though. So then they asked him after that. This is the last question they asked him. They said, so you know, have you done anything or have you started anything? Do you have anything in the works for the social injustice to help it, to bring awareness to it, or to change it? What have you done?
Did he say he's got a black baby mama?
Listen.
No, I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, for me, it's just about continue to inspire and motivate, and hopefully people can hear what I say and believe in that. And I'm up for anything. I'm up to get involved in any way that we can with fixing the social injustice and the police brutality and all the things that are going on in our country. I'm all for making a difference, and you can count me in if we can find something worth the action to do so that will help fix it.
Maybe he's looking for a platform. Maybe he's saying this is not the platform, but outside of the field.
But he was like, have you done anything? It's like, oh, well, not really, but I'm willing to.
Well,
like,
somebody go get his ass.
Like, there's a lot of shit that is being done.
See if he about it.
There's a lot of shit that's been done. and he's in Dallas. He's in Dallas. So you know it's a lot of shit that can be done and that is being done in Dallas. All you gotta do is jump on board, if anything.
Niggas ain't being killed in Texas like that. What are you talking about?
Niggas have been killed in Texas. What are you talking about?
No, we're talking. Okay, the social injustice.
You go in Houston. Shannon Bland, Sharon Bland.
Yeah, her. Yeah, Bland.
She was.
So you saying this shit is this is stemming from the West, the violence in the West Coast. Listen to me. This is stemming from the violence in the West Coast. How often niggas are getting gunned down by law enforcement.
Louisiana was one.
That's the protest right there. Right. Unequal injustice for minorities behind law enforcement, and the shit was out of control on the West Coast. Niggas were being gunned down a lot. Then Then you had incidents on the East Coast. Then you had incidents down south. And these I'm talking about recent,
right? Not
far back. These were recent. The recent timeline on these incidents. So he's in Dallas. Who's being gunned down in Dallas? Who's being gunned down in Houston by police?
4 cops got shot in Dallas because of this shit. There was just a massacre out there when that guy was in the rifle.
I don't know who's getting gunned down and shot at in Houston and Dallas, but he could get. It doesn't matter where he's at. Yeah. He could still get involved.
He can still get involved. I mean, he knows. He has social media. He knows what's going on in this world.
Right. And
he's more informed than us.
It's not going to take somebody to go. If he really wants to be involved, then you go and get involved.
If anything,
he clearly doesn't though.
If anything, that's the problem.
So you got to respect that.
But you can't. I mean,
I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying.
You can't respect it though. But at least it's a fucking tax write-off. At the very least, he's saving money at the end of the day by throwing 100,000 here.
Maybe he don't want to get involved. Maybe he's like, you know what? I don't want to be involved. I'm just gonna say what my mama told me to say before I go to my daddy house, and that's it. and maybe that's just what it is. And you know, you can't be mad at if he don't want to, if he wants to say what he said. That's just it.
That's
bottom
right.
line.
No,
everybody doesn't want to get involved. Black, non-black, biracial. I mean, not everybody wants to get involved. Some people just rather say
play the game, shut the fuck up, right?
Exactly. But I do believe that there needs to be a solution, and I can't believe that we are still talking about this shit.
There's not going to be a solution.
You know, I'm about to write a letter.
This has been going on for fucking centuries.
Write a
but you know what? I didn't even know that the
the
song, the national anthem, I didn't even know that it went the way that it goes.
The third section.
Yeah.
But see,
all of that.
But see, this is the thing.
I didn't even know.
Are you? But see, this is the thing. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad about the national anthem, and he's talking about killing black folks or whatever. Because you understand that the times of back then. You understand how normal it was for a black person to walk across the street. A white man says, "Hey, nigga." And the black person
said
says,
that soulful. Was they really that soulful?
Okay, so the white person, hey, nigger.
Thank you.
And the black person say, "Morning, sir." Like, you understand how normal that was back then? It wasn't like something that's bad. So we're looking at something, 200, 300 years after the song was written by a guy that was living that life, and now we're judging him by what his normality was.
Maybe they should change the song.
No, you can't change the song. That is history. That shit has been written. I'd be goddamn. You change the Tootsie Roll, nigga, or the electric slide. You ain't changing that. That's been done. Like, that is what it is. We just gotta take the good with the bad. But the
Tootsie Roll is not talking about no bullshit.
Yeah, have you heard that fourth verse of the Tootsie Roll?
How it go?
Niggas move you. I don't know.
See, niggas here you go.
I don't know how it goes. I just made that up. Niggas. Yeah, it said something like that. Goddamn crackers can't do the slide to the left.
It does not
slide,
say that.
Slide to niggas. Y'all don't pay your rent. Slide to the club.
There is a song.
I
think Neo sings that song.
It was some really horribly racist shit, and I'm glad they took it out of the fucking electric slide and the Tootsie Roll. It was great.